I was going to ask you the player who surprised you the most in person. To me, it's Ray Ray. Is it you? Is it Ray Ray for you?
Uh, Definitely today it was. I would say
I thought
Ray
he was
Ray.
a gadget guy.
I know.
To me,
He,
he's a legit receiver.
he is. He's a legit
Yeah.
receiver. And if he plays in camp the way he looks in this mini camp, the 49ers are going to be a more dynamic offense overall.
Yep. And I like how Trey Lance gives these deep threats a chance. He did it with Ray Ray today. He's going to do it with Danny Gray during the season if he's healthy. Anyone else that surprised you in person?
Two guys, Trey Sermon's speed on a couple runs. I mean, he looks good. He really does look good. He looks faster, and he's just moving faster in a crowd. Everything he's doing is just a half step faster. And for a running back, a half step is it's the difference between getting stuffed in the hole and making a big run. So I think Trey Sermon looks like he's on the come. And then they've got this linebacker they signed out of Indiana named Marcelino McCrary Ball. And he looked terrific. I mean, and not only that, he looks like the kind of guy, he's like a veteran out there. He's like getting guys lined up. He's barking things out to guys. He's taking control. He had one play, there was a pass in the flat, and he just came sprinting up. Now they're not blowing each other up, but he basically came firing up and had this look on his face like, that's right. If this were the preseason and you were on the other team, you were going to be destroyed right there. So he's playing fast and talking and looking physical, and he's 6 feet, about 215 pounds. They keep finding these fast, instinctive linebackers. I'm really eager to see what Marcelino, McCrary Ball looks like with the pads on.
I'm also really eager to see what Drake Jackson looks like in training camp with the pads on, because I was so surprised. I mean, he looked good. He had a sack today. He had the pressure that led to Trey Lance's pick. He was going against Justin School, though. It's going to get harder, and I'm just surprised that I was expecting an outside linebacker defensive end tweener, which is perfect. That's exactly what D Ford is. That's what you want. That's what Toure is. He looks like a D tackle D end tweener. He looks like Solomon Thomas, or it's like, what? And I don't think he's going to look like that long term. But to come into campus, that's not the first impression I was expecting.
No,
I was expecting,
and I totally agree with that.
Body fat, just looking shredded up, twitched up. That's not what he is right now.
No. And I thought that's exactly my takeaway as well. He looked like a D tackle, D end tweener.
Yep.
And that's probably not what they want. I bet we'll have to see what it looks like in July, because you can't overreact in early June. But yeah, that was a surprise.
I got a suggestion. Lose 5-10 pounds, but also trade numbers with Ridgeway. Ridgeway's got 98. Give him 95. 95 just doesn't look good for an edge rusher. I don't know. Is there ever been a
Michael Carter?
Michael Carter? Okay.
I think of Michael Carter.
I guess it can be done. Hey, well, there's no excuse, Drake. Make 95 look good. How do you pronounce? Is it Refugio? Refugio? I'm gonna say Refugio. Mr. Gomez says, which running backs will make the final roster, and do you think the running offense will be better this year? Ooh, I do think it's gonna be better this year because of Trey. But yeah,
I think this is gonna be intense, man. This is gonna be an intense competition. Why? Because you could see Jermichael Hasty's on the bottom of the list, and Jermichael Hasty is practices harder than anybody. I mean, this guy he'll run the extra 15 yards at the end of the play. And then you got Sermon looking faster. Mitchell's coming back. You got TDP. I mean, you got guys here. The kid Mason out of Georgia Tech is an NFL back in my mind. I mean, they got guys. They get Jeff Wilson. It looks, another year removed from the injury. He looks quick. He had a nice couple long runs today. So, I mean, they're going to, first of all, you can never have enough good running backs. It's like pitching in baseball. And so I'm never worried about too much depth at running back, but that competition is going to be intense.
Yeah, I think Jordan Mason, they'll be able to stash on their practice squad like they did with Jeff Wilson Jr. for a while. But Jeff Wilson Jr. is too good to cut. And then what are they going to do with Jermichael Hasty? They like him. What are they going to do with
TDP? I mean, who's the best back? I mean, Greg Cosell says that he loves Ty Davis Price. I was happy to see that because I think Greg's got a pretty good eye for it. So you get Ty Davis Price, who's 220, And you got Sermon maybe better this year, and you got Mitchell. I mean, they got a lot of guys. They got a lot of guys, and they got a lot of guys who are, truly number one backs. So, there's gonna be some unhappy guys there.
I wonder if they keep an extra running back because I
think they will.
The two positions that they get burned at the most, just not having bodies, is cornerback and running back. It happens every year that they all of a sudden they're starting some guy off another team's practice squad for a week. Jaquez Patrick, remember him? Like that can't happen anymore.
Oh,
so maybe you got to find a way to keep a couple extra running backs in the practice squad or something. So you're not picking off running backs and cornerbacks off other teams' practice squad that Saturday.
And if their receivers are all healthy, the odds, I mean, I like Tay Martin. I didn't see him out there today, but the odds of any of the undrafted guys, even Danny Gray, of getting a lot of run on a team that has Debo and Ayuk and
Jennings and Ray
Jennings, and then Ray. So like those guys are going to get all the carry, all the attention, all the reps. So maybe you go one short at wide receiver and you keep one extra running back.
Maybe you do, especially if you know that you're probably going to be the team that leads the league in rushing attempts this year. You're and probably is 32nd in passing. You were 31st in passing attempts last year. You're probably going to be 32nd this year. I mean, that's what you said, right?
Run the ball.
Attempts. Yeah.
Run the ball.
Run the freaking ball. All right. I got to go get mentally prepared for this Warrior game. Are you going to be doing a post game? Are you going to be doing a post game?
Yes, doing a little post game tonight on the Warriors. So people check out the Krug Show on YouTube, and we'll talk a little. The great Cyrus Satsis will join me from Locked On Warriors, and we'll break down Warriors Celtics. I like the Warriors tonight, Grant. What do you think? I'm going Warriors to win tonight and lose Game 4. It's going to be 2-2 going into Game 5.
I think maybe I feel the opposite But
Boston
I think it's going to be 2-2 going into Game 5, essentially. Yeah. Yes. Scott Foster's coaching reffing tonight.
Reffing, yeah.
Celtics
Celtic fans want Draymond Green tossed. I don't think Draymond Green is too smart. That was the question I wanted to ask Kyle yesterday: is who is their Draymond Green? Who is the guy? Draymond's the guy that gets everybody ready to go. And he's the guy, like the emotional leader that kind of sets the tone setting type player. Who is the Niners tone setter? Debo?
No question about it. Debo is their Draymond and their Stephen Curry. No, maybe I guess Trey could be their Stephen Curry. I guess they need him to be. But to me, it's Debo.
I think it might be Jimmy Ward. The way he steps up and starches people.
I like that. Because Draymond's a little under the radar, right? He doesn't have the big stats.
Right.
He doesn't fill the stat sheet, but you have to appreciate it. Debo fills the stat sheet. Jimmy Ward doesn't. That's a good answer. That's the right answer.
Jimmy Ward.
I love it because Jimmy Ward talks a lot. He talks a lot of shit now, which is nice. Which is kind of maybe he's.
How about D'Amico talking about all pros? He's like, as soon as Jimmy's name came up today, he starts talking about all pro players, and he's like, well, some guys are all pro and some guys aren't all pro, but they should be. And it's like, the Niners coaches have loved Jimmy Ward for years. And I think the fan base is starting to come around.
I didn't see the light until recently, but look, any corner that has his stats in coverage gets big time recognition. This guy shuts down every tight end he faces and no one cares. No one cares. They should probably care. What does he have to do? Like just have a couple of fluke interceptions land in his chest? Does that make you an all pro? Because he had a couple of those last year and they still didn't care.
You know what my barometer is? If it was the Super Bowl and you had mass injuries and you had to have just some guy randomly play the corner, you'd pick him. And if it was the Super Bowl and you lost all your linebackers and you had to have just some random guy play linebacker, it would be him. You know what I mean? So because he's both your best corner and you're a guy that you would lean on both as a corner and as a hitter.
You can say that on special teams too. You need a gunner. Yeah. He could do anything. Yeah, great.
Seriously.
You might even be able to put him at on offense in a pinch if you
if you had to. I'll say this: you would trust him. You would if you had to hand it to him in a key situation. You wouldn't be like, oh, he's going to fumble. No. You'd be like, yeah, he might get it.
Yeah, hands. I don't know. Sorry, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Refugio. Got it. I got it. Thank you very much. All right, watch the game. Watch Larry later. I have no idea if I'm going to Santa Clara tomorrow. I'll find out. We'll see.
I don't know, man. I'm pretty red. I don't know if my forehead could take another day down in Santa Clara. I need one of those big hats.
What I do is I'm so pale. I try to basically get my tan for the year in a few days down in Santa Clara. So, we'll see. This is gonna have to last me for 6 weeks.
Get that farmer tan going.
It's a good look.